on this computer.
All right.
Awesome.
I will let everybody in right now.
Fabulous. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks.
Bye.
It's a small group today, which is good.
Hello, welcome. As you might see, Babs is not here today. She is currently on her way to Fiberspace for a trunk show. They might actually have arrived by now.
Yep.
So Lynn and I are filling in on the Zoom. I'm Helen. I do a lot of putting of sets together and behind the scenes things, but I don't come in front of the scenes very often. So hello, it's good to see everyone today.
Yeah. And I'm Lynn, and yeah, welcome. I haven't been on the Zoom in a while either. So yeah, you know, as we used to say, the cat's away, the mice will play, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You're not really a mouse, you're actually a cat.
I'm a secret
you
cat.
do a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. So, and we have Callie hiding out in the background looking for, she's going to track our chat if you have questions. So we're awfully casual today and a little hurried.
Discombobulated.
That's me. I'll speak for myself. But I'm great. Glad to see. I know we got a little bit of a small group today, but I'm glad y'all joined. We have some things to talk about. Like Helen just said, Babs is on her way to Fiberspace. I know you heard her talking about it before, but Fiberspace is kind of our flagship trunk show, I would call it. The first one that Babs did starting in 2009 and has done ever since, including through pandemic where they hold it outside now. And they took all the yarn. So, so we're getting ready for a DFW Fiber Fest next week, which they this year for a change put right in the middle of show season. Like we call show season from Fiberspace Trunk Show through SAF, which is a Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair in the end of October. So we're on we'll be on and out and about and looking forward to seeing some of you in person in the next several weeks. So that's what we're up to. Yeah, she took all the yarn, so I had to wait. So I have now 2 days to pack everything else.
This is Lynn's first year helping prep for shows, so she's not used to having multiple things going at once and having to split yarn between the website and 2 different shows and figure out where samples are and what goes where. So
if I had a skein of yarn for every time I've been told you can't make that, no, you can't have that in the last week, I would have like a whole stash. But so anyway, welcome. Does anybody have any questions to get to start off with? If you do, unmute yourself. Okay.
Or you can also type into the chat or try and keep an eye on that. Okay. In the meantime, we were going to talk about our fall collection, which just launched last week.
Yeah, we are. So let me make sure I can do that. Where are you? It's hiding. Why is it hiding?
You have to go down to share screen first.
Okay, share. And it was in my, oh, why is it there? Okay.
And then over to the right tab.
Up here. I'm learning. I am so slow at this. Okay. Come on, pop up. Can you guys see my screen? It should be like showing.
Yeah, Lynn, hit present. Over on your right.
It's hiding under all of you.
Oh,
we can.
There we go. Yeah. Aha, full screen. So, hey, Veronica, thank you for sending me all these pictures. I whipped together this slick little PowerPoint. So we have 12 designs in our set this year and in this season, and they're presently at Fiberspace, or we would be showing them to you like, you know, here's what you can see.
Samples, yeah.
But so I'm going to kind of go through these and talk, but I use this one as our starting point because it's the star of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a minute. That's what the sets are behind Helen and me. So I'm not sure how you say this.
Carariva?
Is in Portuguese?
I don't know. I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese, so I'm hopeless.
Okay.
But it's a lovely design. It's got the two big cable panels running up the front, and it's a great way to show off your favorite solid or tonal color in Yowza. The turtleneck makes it a wonderfully cozy sweater, and I think it's a great kind of anytime sweater. You know, you can wear it out or you can just wear it at home relaxing.
Yeah, good for fall and winter.
Mhm.
We don't have cold weather yet, but we might get there soon.
The nights have been cold. I've had my windows open in the evenings and it gets into the low 50s. So
yeah,
it's lovely.
Yeah, here and this is my first like full on fall in the mountains, and it was 50 this morning. So yeah, so this one's really cool. It's made out of Yowza, like Helen said, and knit on size 5. So that Yowza is very flexible in terms of the different needle sizes you can use with it. And this is kind of in the middle of getting a nice dense fabric out of it. Okay. Next we have the compass cowl. And this one, we have Flo modeling. I love that picture.
It is a great photo.
So this is by Tanis Gray, and it is knit in Killington. And Killington, we have been really chatting up Killington around the studio a lot lately, mainly because it's such a great sweater yarn. And it is, so this one is in lilacs and old gold together.
And one of the fun things about this cowl is that the two halves reverse the colors. So you've got the lilacs as the background color and the old gold as the foreground color for the first half. And then they switch, which means that you use exactly the same amount of both colors, which is unusual for stranded knitting. And it just gives a neat look to have that reversed halfway through. And you can have one half in front and one half in back, or wear it like Flo and feature that contrast.
Oh yeah. And it is knit in a tube so that it's double thickness and nice and cozy.
And no wrong side visible.
Yes.
Which is another thing that's nice when you're doing color work.
You can hide the ends. All right. Oh, I lost my thing. Here we go. And this one is also in Killington. It is designed by Jen Weissman, and it's 2 of the 350 yard skeins in Killington. This is a lovely textured scarf, almost a wrap. It's sort of in between. It's not quite as skinny as a scarf, and it's what I love about this one. And a friend of mine commented as well, is like that it's neither feminine nor masculine. It's kind of, it can be either, and that's really nice. It can make a nice gift for friends or whatever.
Like the third German gender, neuter, neutral.
Neuter, nice.
That, I think that's what it's called from my 1 year of German.
Oh,
they have masculine, feminine, neuter.
Okay, but that doesn't mean like you do to your cat.
No, it just means it's neither masculine nor feminine.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And this is a good sort of introductory project. It's just basically knits and purls in different textures repeated throughout the project. So it'd be easy to lengthen it by knitting another repeat or two. And just a nice, simple project.
Yeah. And knits, purls, increases, decreases. That's cool. Yeah. All right. And then this one is Drifting Diamonds, which I love because it's mosaic and it uses a gradient set and it uses main color throughout the whole thing. So, and the gradient set that it uses is called Fall Leaves, which it really captures all the beautiful colors of fall. So this one's also a nice size.
Yeah.
And it's also by Jen Weissman.
It is. We love Jen. One of the nice things about this shawl, again, is that it's fairly simple. It's a mosaic chart. So you're only working with one color at a time. It's not like stranded color work where you've got 2 colors going on every row. You've just got the one color with mosaic knitting, and you work some stitches and slip some, and then work the same and slip the same on the row coming back.
Yeah, so it gives you that pretty design. Next up, we have Itage. So this is designed by Lana Joyce, and it is an Estrelita, which is the lighter color, the Coming Home, and 2-ply in cordovan. And this one, when we were doing the modeling shots, I really loved looking at this one. I love the colors because it's fall-like and it's very rich, but it also, it's like, it uses estrolita. So you get a little sparkle going on, but it's still not foo-foo, you know?
Yeah. And I like the juxtaposition of the sort of almost honeycomb-esque slip stitch portion with the leafy, flowery lace, because it's, you know, two things that go together, bees and nature.
Yeah.
Or fauna, flora.
Yes. So honeycomb, or I mean, it's bricks to me,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's a brick wall with trellis or something.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, this one was a really pretty one too. We're almost there. And this is Helen's design, the Morris mindset. So tell us a little bit about your inspiration since we have you here.
Well, I love playing with stranded color work. It's my favorite knitting technique. And so when I was thinking of this one, I wanted something kind of simple in the middle with a bit of frou-frou on the edges. And it reminded me of some of the William Morris designs. And there's a William Morris quote, which I love, and I'm not going to get quite right, but it's have nothing in your home which is not useful and beautiful. You know, you don't want just beautiful things. You don't want just useful things. You want things that are both. And I think that cowls and a lot of the things that we knit are a way of doing that, because it's useful. It will keep you warm, but it's also beautiful and something that you enjoy making. So that's kind of where I was coming from with this design.
Cool. Yeah, William Morris is his sort of floral, and he sort of lives in the lands between Art Nouveau and some other like more floral, botanical almost. And I love his designs. It's a lot of them. The whole, like, what was the one that was his daughter's inspiration, Miss May? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Curious Handmade did along earlier this year.
Yeah. So I mean, I love that, and I love that you were able to take that and work it into your own design, because I really do like this. So the other thing that's interesting about this one is that Helen knitted on a size 1.5 needle on Avon to get a really beautiful fabric. Like it's not light,
it's
light
very
and floppy.
warm.
It's cozy, and really soft. So thank you. And here we have the mosaics and medallions. So Michael Harrigan is the designer of this one, and he's designed several other wrap/scarves in Caroline, and it uses 3 colors, and it is just luscious knit on size 2 needles. It's just really soft and beautiful, and his color work is spectacular. I don't know if I could make it look that good, but I really like this one. Was a really pretty one too. And then I know we probably will be hopefully we'll have Caroline for trios, or people can help make them. We're happy to help people make them up if they want to use different colors, and we'll make up sets with these colors too.
And one of the things that we often love about Michael's designs is again, they're, you know, good for both men and women. So I know sometimes it can be hard to find things to knit for men, and we try to keep that in mind when we put our collections together, but we don't get a huge number of submissions that fit that criteria. So Michael is great for that.
Yeah, he is. And it's, again, my friend Stephen was like, oh, and I really like that one too. So yeah. He's like, thank you for making some that were, you know, men's things. He's always looking for good men's projects. And here we have the sequence fade. So this has been the rock star of our collection so far.
Absolutely.
Please ignore that model in that picture. But this is designed by Betsy Beach. Now, any of you who have traveled and seen us in person at Maryland or Rhinebeck in the last few years have likely met Betsy, because she works with us at the shows and is a good friend. And she came up with this design, and I love the balance. I love the transitions, the way that they're worked together. It blends the 2 colors in between each color change. So you really get this just delicious fade. And the beauty of that is that you can use different color combinations to, to act they don't have to necessarily be like perfectly adjacent, because you're blending them together in the knitting itself. So here we'll let Helen talk about so Helen's been really busy in the studio the last couple weeks putting together sets for this particular project, and there are bins of toes everywhere.
So the set that Betsy used for this is made up of 4 different gradient sets. We took colors 1, 3, and 5, and made each made those into one set. And then we took colors 2, 4, and 6 and made those into another set. And she picked a very calm, soothing palette, which we called Serene. But of course, we like options, as you know. We can't just do anything once. So I put together some other ones from other gradient sets. Again, taking 1, 3, and 5 in one half of the set, and 2, 4, and 6 in another half. This one is more earthy tones, and it is the Pegasus Herb Garden Death by Chocolate Old Gold set. And I like this one because it's different to a lot of what we put together. This is not a combination that I would normally just walk through the racks and pull, but I think it's a very nice, pleasing grouping of colors. And then, of course, we also have something bright like this one, which is Sea Teal, Scorpio, Ivy, and Flamingo, and is using a bunch of our bright gradients. And the way that we put these together is Ivy and I went back to where the gradients live. They can't see these? Oh, okay. Is this the last thing in the slideshow?
There's a couple more.
All right, well, we're going to come back to this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here is Serene, which is the original set that Betsy used. And this is the very calm, soothing palette. And then this is the earthy set, Pegasus, Herb Garden, Death by Chocolate, and Old Gold. And the brighter set of Sea Teal, Scorpio, Ivy, and Flamingo. And so as I was saying, Ivy and I went back to where the gradients live in bins, and we took one of everything out and put them all up along a big table. And then we shuffled things and said, oh, I like those 4 together. What about if we swapped that one with this one? And we came up with a bunch of different sets, which we've got on the website now. So that's the kind of thing that I have a lot of fun doing.
Yeah, you do. And you do it a lot. You do it really well. So yeah.
Lots of practice. Lots of practice.
But yeah, I love them all. I think I really love this one. And you had me at Flamingo on that one. So
yeah. And one thing that we try to do when we're making sets is keep in mind that we're not the arbiter of taste for the entire world. So while I may love a particular set and not like another one, someone else is going to like the one that I don't like and not like the one that I do. So we try and come up with sets across a range of kind of feels and color intensities, and just kind of, make a wide range of things so that we'll hopefully have something that you will like when you want to knit something.
Okay.
Back to share screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And then I don't think we have too many more left. Yeah. So the next one we have is Sparkler Wrap, again, designed by Jen Weissman. She has definitely, we kind of really love her geometric designs and her sensibilities, and everything looks so polished and finished in her.
Yeah.
Hers. And she's been a designer with us in our collections for several years now. So this one, she used Avon, and she used Wolfsbane and Plover. Wolfsbane, the purple, and Plover is our new favorite, except for white peppercorn, right?
Yeah.
We like writing Plover on the tags more than we like writing white peppercorn. It's actually a thing, like things I've learned this year. Yep. It's like really funny. But this one's got a nice, like, you can't really see it in this image, but it tapers, and it's really a nice shawl wrap shape too. And again, knitted on size 5s.
And again, it uses a bit of mosaic along the sparkler sides to make those fun diamond patterns. So it's got a bit more interest than just stripes, but it's not a terribly complex pattern.
No. A mix of garter and stockinette. And our other star of the show, the star sweater, the star in a sweater. So those of you who participated in the Mia class, this is the same designer, Kirsten Michelle, and this one uses 4 minis and 1 main color, and you can tell that the main color is actually repeated in the motif, so it works like it's a 5-color motif. Yeah. That's only 4. This one's in cobalt and in Yowza, and then the Yowza minis are obsidian, cordovan, coastal fog, and tender. Tender is just a palest pink. So it gives it a little bit of brightness in the middle. And this is, Kirsten Michelle has been doing a lot of sweaters, and I've seen some of her things on Ravelry, some other designs that she's done, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she comes up with next.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited about it.
She's another one that we just love she'll submit 5 patterns and we just have such a rough time deciding which couple we want to include because they're all lovely.
And so having knit the Mia sweater, she incorporates a lot of really good technique. And those of you who are on this call who were participating in that, that she incorporated a lot of really good techniques in her sweater designs that are really nice. I didn't realize that she was trained as an architect before. And that's in her profile. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And that explains a lot in terms of her design sensibility. Enough rambling on my part. So this is Betsy's design again. This is just 3 toes using espresso old golden alder. So this is a golden hue sweater, little cowl, and it's a fairly small cowl. We had several 3-color cowls last year, and I think Betsy's like, "Ooh, I want to make one of those." Yeah. So she did, and it's kind of neat, fun to play on texture, and some stitch exploration there.
And again, blending of the colors between. So you could make it a very fadey kind of combination if you wanted to, by using, for example, 3 colors from a gradient set. That would make it really subtle.
Or you can come to DFW and pick out toes, because we have loads of toes going to our show. And this one, so this one I actually love more than I ever thought I would, looking at it in person. And I'm not the biggest Tarte fan, but Tarte is great for this. So that wasn't very nice of me, was it? No, and again, that model, oh my God. So this is a woven shawl by Mackenzie Alvarez, and it is a subtle woven texture in a colorway called Watercolor Memories. And Watercolor Memories is like a clear kind of light gray with just gorgeous speckle on it. It's got so much depth in that, just it goes with everything. And we used frangula, I don't know how you say it, frangula.
Pick one.
Okay, that. The purple color is part of our cascara gradient from a few years ago. And we had a customer email us a few days ago and say, well, what other colors go with this? What's it look like? And I'm trying to describe it. And I'm like, you could do kind of anything,
very versatile,
anything with it, particularly in the richer color hues. Just a delicious, kind of easy, not terribly challenging, but really rewarding project. And the other great thing about Tarte is it's got a little bit of shine to it. It's got a really pretty drape, and it's got a lot of yardage. So you can, this isn't a small shawl,
and it'll wear really well.
Yeah. So I don't hate on Tarte. I really was like, oh, yeah. So I want to see that one again in person, because the Watercolor Memories is really, when it comes back, it's at Fiber Space. We will hopefully pry those things back so we can have them. But yes, that one is a nice one. And that's all. Stop sharing. Okay. So let's see, what else do we have? Any questions?
Well, if there aren't any questions, we can move on to show and tell. And if there are, feel free to unmute and ask, or type in the chat. To start the show and tell, I am knitting the latest Boo Knits shawl. And I can't remember the name right now, and I don't have my pattern, so I'm relying on Veronica to put it in chat. But this is in Magic Elixir Holston, and Holston is a silk and linen blend, and you can see that it's got a beautiful drape. Neither of these are fibers that I would normally gravitate towards, but I was really pleasantly surprised with how much this is. This is nice to knit.
Helen, are you in Holston or Damask? Because you described one and named the other.
I am in Damask, and I'm just thinking about the wrong yarn. I'm sorry.
we're kind of like overwhelmed with yarn right now.
Brain mush. I see that Kim asked when the pattern comes out for the holiday festive set. We don't actually have any patterns for that are designed and published by us, but a lot of different designers will have designs coming out. I know that Amba has a couple due to release, I think the end of November. I believe Brawny Casapinka will be having a pattern coming out. And again, I think those tend to be mid to late November, so that you get clues during December and can knit along if you want to.
Yeah, I think, yeah, all of those designs will be ready when it's time to start.
And there's also a bundle in our Ravelry group with suggestions of patterns for festive sets. So a lot of previous year's designs that we've found and added to that bundle. So that's a place to look for ideas before this year's come out if you want to see what else is available.
I wonder what would happen if you did that sequence fade the whole
Oh my Lord.
That's like 5
Well, you'd lose
skeins.
some of the blending because you'd have, one for each section. And so, but it would be interesting.
You could just do like a slight less blend. Anyway, I'm always thinking of ways to mess things up, modify them, change them. That always happens. Okay. Yeah, Veronica's got a lot of sense.
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and stop the recording so that people who are interested can share their own show and tell.
Yeah.
Where